Are we back up? Are we back up?
Chat.
I see the chat going.
Yeah. KnicksFanTV in preseason mode. There we are. Okay, now I see us.
All right.
There
All
we
right, we
are.
back. All right, we back. We back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so CK, sorry for so what finish your whole thing on start over again on your Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm just a little worried about the size issue. It's hard for me to get away from that. But as far as Dante DiVincenzo's fit, I think he's going to be good for us. It's just about finding that formula each and every night with the different different players and teams that are going to get thrown at us, especially around with the wing. But I like the craftiness of DiVincenzo. I think that he's going to be able to get his shot off regardless. I'm not really taking the 2 for 8 too serious tonight. Again, preseason and him figuring out his mojo with the team. But I'm still going to be skeptical about this rotation until they give me a reason not to be. I'm not backing off on it.
So let's get into this right now, man, because we saw Jericho Sims play the 4 tonight. We saw the Sims Robinson duo. We saw the Sims Hartenstein duo. It seems like it seems like you love it, man. It seems like you love that lineup right there. I get it for defensive purposes. Offensively, if we were a more gifted offensive team, and maybe that changes, man. Maybe that changes with Dante DiVincenzo. Not a fan of having two big men that don't really offer that much offense out there on the floor, and you're relying. I mean, you're relying. Well, tonight it was quickly Dante and Fournier. Obviously, it won't be Fournier. It would be either RJ or Josh Hart. Or maybe in this case, there's no Josh Hart. That's the only reason that we saw this tonight, right? Because once Josh Hart's back, I don't think Jericho Sims is going to be getting those minutes. Although it'll be interesting considering that Tom Thibodeau has been raving about Jericho Sims' improvement during training camp. So that will be interesting to see how he rewards him based on his improvements this offseason. Yeah. But I wasn't a big fan. I don't hate it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it either, where I'm like, there's no offense, man. And this team is just like I get they were a top offense mainly through isolation, but if you have those guys out there and you don't have your two best isolation scorers out there, or even worse, you have your two best isolation scorers who are best at scoring 15 and closer to the bucket, like that just makes it even 10 times more challenging with Sims and Mitchell Robinson out there. Like I can kind of see with Isaiah Hartenstein, because all right, he's got a floater, he could space the floor a little bit, he could be a passer. But Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims, that's a little rough, man. That's a little rough.
I was going to say, I was fine when they played with Sims and Hartenstein. I was with that. I did not like the Sims and Mitch combination. I wish we got to see a little bit more of, because we had to, let's see what happens with Hartenstein and Mitch. That is something I'd be a little more okay with, because at least I know Hartenstein has the ball moving capability. So you can have Mitch be down low and Hartenstein can be on the high post. So you can still have ball movement that way. Yes, we still won't have the shooting, but the ball will still be able to move and there still won't be so much of a logjam compared to when you had Sims and Mitch in the game at the same time. The movement looked so weird between the two of them. And we already have such a hard time with the wings in certain situations. And you're talking about Evan Fournier and poor Deuce with Grimes in one instance and with RJ in another instance trying to move around with those two down there. It just didn't make sense. So I don't hate the idea of utilizing two of the bigs together. I just do not like the combination of Sims and Mitch. I think iHeart's going to have to be that floater that runs with one of those two, while Sims is the big or Mitch is the big, if they're going to play around with that. But Sims and Mitch, I was not a fan. I was not a fan.
How about this? Let's throw this wrench. Let's hope that Jericho Sims actually developed a jumper and just didn't display it to give the tape to opponents yet. Do you think that's possible?
All right, ask the real question next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait when you're ready with the real question. Did you not see? And here's the thing, Jericho, I'm gonna give you credit. It looked pretty when that man. I know it was the end of the shot clock, and he had no choice when he shot that little fade. He had no choice. It looked pretty, but the result wasn't. So it's like, yeah, I don't know if that's a thing, Alex. I'm not sure, bro. And I love Jericho. That's no hate. It's just, I know that's not his role. That's not his role.
It's not, but it's just funny, man, because I'm like I said, man, I'm curious to see where the minutes are going to come from, because this is really more of a product of Josh Hart not playing tonight, right? Because if you have Josh Hart, that rotation is most likely Quickly, Dante, RJ, Hart, and Hartenstein. Like that, to me, that's what it is. And then we go back to a 10-man rotation, or no, that's still a 9-man. That's still a 9-man rotation. I'm going crazy for a second. Going a little crazy.
You are going a little crazy, yeah. Tibbs and 10-man. He said, "Huh?" He's like, "What? What's that? Don't know what that is." No, thank you.
Hey, man, look, talked about what was it? There was a tweet out there. Let me see if I can go find it. Let me see if I can go find it and send it to our producer Daniel, so he can share with our family here. Shout out to everyone in the chat right now.
What's
Shout
up,
out to
chat?
Knicks Nation. We are here for KFTV Post Game Live. Make sure to call in through the Discord if you want to get off your takes, talk about preseason. We know you want to talk about preseason.
1-0, baby.
1-0. We're going to the chip, baby. We're going to the chip.
Yeah, man.
That's all I need to see. All I need to see tonight. All right, Daniel, I sent you this. Sent you the tweet in the chat. If you could just share that with everyone on the screen. And this is from new beat reporter Christian Winfield. He is he's been a beat reporter. He covered the Brooklyn Nets for the Daily News, but now he is transferred over covered the New York Knicks for the Daily News.
Last year, right?
He started covering the Knicks literally this week.
Okay.
Yeah, this week. So Christian tweeted, Ryan Arcidiacono and Josh Hart are out for the Knicks tonight. Tom Thibodeau says Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson will start, but will be on a minute limit. That's minutes limit? I know it's preseason, but never thought I'd hear the words minutes limit and Tom Thibodeau in the same sentence. So things could happen, CK. Things could happen. That's all I'm saying, man.
It just blew my mind that of all the people that have to play the most minutes, it was Mitch. There was no need for Mitchell Robinson to be on the floor for 23 minutes in my humble opinion.
And that was to him a minutes restriction.
No.
Keep in mind he put Mitchell Robinson in that minutes restriction, yet Mitch had 23.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I don't like it. I understand if you want to try to get the cardio in and whatnot, sure. But no. If I need him healthy. He was falling one too many times for me in this game. Sit him down.
And Mitch looked good, man.
He looked great. Outside of the cardio, but he had a little bit of stamina issues.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I thought he was running pretty strong out there. Like there was one where he had what was it? I forget who gave him the pass. Let's see. I got my notes right here, man. He got a good solid pass from because he finished a nice dunk in transition. I was like, yo, very strong. Very strong. Can't find it right now, but it was nice. It was nice, man. He looks in good shape, man. Don't hate on our guy, Mitch. Why are you hating on the guy, Mitch?
I love Mitch, but I'm just saying, why
are you hating on Mitch?
My man was by the river in Louisiana fishing away, and the fact that he looks strong as hell, and I'm really happy to see his shape. He's great. But you're just a little gassed tonight, and that's fine. We've seen Mitch do this before and still play out of his mind. But at the same time, 23 minutes, he was not the one I needed to see play 23 minutes. Mitch looked great. Let him rest. That's all I'm saying. That's not hate on Mitch. I thought Mitch was good, but too many minutes for Mitchell Robinson, in my opinion.
For Mitchell Robinson. Look, man, I get it. And shout out to Charlie Correa with the $2 super chat. He said, "We may never lose a game ever again. We back." Okay. I ain't going that. I ain't jumping out the window that far, but
hey, let him jump, bro. We gotta get the energy up now.
preseason. We're
Yeah,
all going.
want to know.
We're all happy because we got Knicks basketball back in action. What do you think about Deuce McBride, man?
Here's the thing. I understand that he didn't shoot the greatest percentage tonight, but I love the aggression because that was always the beef with Deuce McBride. You know, it was it's like he was scared to shoot and he was scared to get to the rim. And today I thought he did a good job. He was active defensively as we've always seen. Definitely his biggest pro. But I love that he was aggressive. Again, you know, he was 3 for 10, 0 for 4 from 3. But I love that he was attacking. I love that he was trying to get an offense going. I loved how he was trying to squeak some of those passes in. There was him and Isaiah Hartenstein in that third quarter. They were doing some remarkable like touch passes that helped the ball move around a lot more fluidly. So, you know, it's little things like that I love to see from Deuce. I think he needs this preseason to see where he lies in this rotation because, like we mentioned earlier, with all the guards that are ahead of him, unfortunately, Deuce might be the one that gets left out. So I think he needs to have a strong preseason. And outside of shooting percentage, I thought he was pretty active in tonight's game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this has kind of just been the thing for McBride, right? Is that the shooting needs to come around, but the defense is there, his activity is there. But that's all you really need from him. Were you shocked to see that Fournier got into the game before McBride, or were you like that's pretty on par?
That part I was shocked about is him coming in before Deuce. Yes.
Mhm.
I was not shocked that he played. I always expect him to play. I think he should play in this preseason. I mean, both sides said their piece. I would expect Tibbs to, because he says he respects him. I expect Tibbs to give him his shot to see if he can get in the rotation. Don't think he will, but so I wasn't shocked that he got in the game. The fact that he went in when he went in, yes, that part shocked me. We needed the offense though, so that kind of made sense. But you know, the first time he checked in, it wasn't the greatest of swings because we were up by 9 points, and
Yeah,
then
around 9,
instantly
10
went down
points.
by 1 or something like that. I'm not saying that's entirely his fault, but that is a thing that happened. But yeah, to see him check in before Deuce, I wasn't expecting that, but it was fine. It worked out. They both ended up playing fine well together in the second half.
Yeah, I was a little initially when I saw Fournier come in for ahead of McBride. I was like, this is a little weird considering of the standing Fournier was on last season with Tom Thibodeau and the entire Knicks, like the Knicks roster, right? But the more I thought about it, I was like, if you put McBride out there, you would then have Quickly and then Dante. So that's like a really, really small 3 guard lineup that you got there. And that's putting Dante at the wing. And I was like, I kind of get why you're putting Evan Fournier out there. He's probably the only true wing that we have outside of RJ at that point
Yeah.
to go with that unit. So I was like, okay. And when I thought about it, I was like, this is fine. I get why you're doing it. You're giving him a chance to earn some minutes as well. But it took me a minute for him to get adjusted. But hey, man, that's a bet that, you know, it's a bet that Tom Thibodeau took, man, and Evan Fournier is taken. Speaking about betting, man, let's talk about our sponsor for today. All right, because our sponsor for the official sponsor for KFTV for the 2023 season is BetUS, the official sports book for KFTV this 2023 season. As I said, it's one of the premier sports books, man. You can bet on all sports, NFL, NBA, MLB, you name it. You can place a bet on it. They have an online casino. They have all types of betting. So if you want to do parlays, you want to do money line, you want to do prop bets, they got you covered. And don't worry when it comes about collecting your money. They got a reliable customer service, so that money will be deposited to your bank account. Now, if we're talking about betting for tonight, Knicks were 8.5-point favorites. And if you took the 8.5, if you took the over, sorry, it was 114 to 107. So hopefully you chose the under for tonight. But if you took the money line, you could have won some money, man. All right, it was a minus 110. So if you placed $100, you could have ended up with a full total earnings of $191. But don't worry, if you didn't place those bets for tonight, or if you're not feeling that you want to place a bet on any single game this upcoming season, don't worry. You can still do futures, all right? You can bet for the Knicks winning the in-season tournament, or you can talk about them winning the East. So make sure to go check out BetUS today. Go sign up. If you want to get there, make sure to click the link in our video description bio and get a bonus match of up to 125% on your deposit. Make sure to check out BetUS, the official sports book of KFTV for the 2023 season. All right. And that was our sponsor.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you, CK. Thank you. I appreciate the well done from you, man. I appreciate the well done from you. Man. What were you thinking about this game overall coming into it, man? Did you want to would you have been upset with the loss? Would you have been how'd you feel about this game going overall? Because it was pretty tight. As for 3.5 quarters, the Celtics with their B squad was keeping up with the Knicks actual rotation, even for the limited minutes that our starters got. How'd you feel about that?
That was the beef right there. It's not about if we had lost, because preseason is preseason. It's about how our main rotational players played against those guys. Now, you could also make that argument that they probably had the same mentality, this isn't the main squad and this, that, and the third. But yeah, for our main guys and some guys that even when they were coming off the bench are going to be in the rotation that were getting outplayed by them, I didn't like it. That's what irritated me more than anything else. But as you saw in that third quarter, you saw them clean it up. You saw them go on the run. It just only furthers the point that this is preseason. It's our first game, their second game, regardless of whether it's A, B, or C squad. The majority of them already got minutes in their last game. We were still able to figure it out. We saw good stuff out of Brunson. We saw good stuff out of the guys. It is what it is. It's just it was a little worrisome in that first half. We watched our main rotational guys get cooked by what's his name, Blanton or my boy Shfee was out there just hitting threes in everybody's eyes. It was rough times. It was rough times.
Yo, it was crazy. I was like, wow, this Peyton Pritchard, man, gets paid, and he's like, yo, let me show you.
Crazy. Knicks killer. Always one. There's always one.
There's always one, man. Always one. And he played well. 21 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds for him, 3 steals. Dude was active. I think the one that shocked me was that Quick almost had the steal on Peyton Pritchard, then gets the steal, right? Because Quick was hustling, gets the steal, goes back, and I think it was Pritchard who comes back. He's like, "Nah, let me get that right back." And I was like, "Yo, what?" I was like, "Yo, what is happening right now?" Pritchard was on one tonight, man. He was trying to put. I don't know who he was trying to put on notice. I was like, "It's a preseason game, my man. Who are you trying to put on notice in the league?"
Right. That man hit a 3 from the E on the chase. From the Madison Square Garden chase. I like, what's going on, brother? No one asked for this at the beginning of the shot clock. I'm like, what is going on? Who are you here for? You heard Taylor Swift. Wasn't Taylor Swift there? I heard something about Taylor.
Okay, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of here with the Taylor. All right, as a Jets fan and having to have the whole Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing. Hey, at least your teams won yesterday. Your Saints won.
Yeah, shut out against. Shout out to my Jets fans out there. My Saints shut out the Patriots. I know y'all love that. Just for you guys, But yeah,
Jets to the Patriots for losing a hope.
Huh?
Shout out to the Patriots for losing a hope.
Yeah, they got killed. They got destroyed.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So to my Jets fans out there, our Saints, that's our gift for you. Merry Christmas. But look at the Jets, man. Look at y'all. Look at y'all.
I feel sorry for CP, man. He went down to Miami to go catch that Giants game against the Dolphins.
It was damn. What's the? I was so into Knicks mode today. What was the update on Daniel Jones? Is he all right?
I have no idea. I'm not a Giants fan, man. I'm not a Giants fan, so I don't know. For Giants fans, what in the chat? For Giants fans in the chat, let us know what the update is on Daniel Jones. Jets lost Elijah Vera Tucker, so I'm upset, man. I'm upset we lost Elijah Vera Tucker for the season. We lost him again playing against the Broncos, man. Again. Last year, he got injured in the Broncos, done for the season. Play the Broncos again. In Mile High, again. We lose Elijah Vera Tucker. I don't want to ever go there ever again.
Ever again.
Stop it. Stop. Yeah. NFL always does this to us, man. Puts us out in Denver for no reason. Yeah. None whatsoever.
Anyway. Giants fans are vacant in the chat tonight, is what I'm hearing. Jones is playing Sunday. Okay, there we go. We got that. Shout out to Queens.
Shout out to Jamaica Queens in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everyone here with us. Shout out to everybody here with us tonight after the Knicks' first preseason game. Man.
Dub.
We at least we got the dub, man. But let's get back to the line. We got a caller with us. We got Kaloy 84 on the line with us. Kaloy, if you hear me right now, man, unmute the mic. Let's hear what you got to say. as I swat away this moth that's in front of me. What's going on, KO? KO?
Hello?
Yep. What's
Hey,
going on?
kamusta mga tropa? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, Alex. Hey, CK. I just have a quick comment. I'm still mad about the Obi Toppin trade, but I'm glad that we have a Jacob Toppin in the building right now. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting my call. Bye.
Have a
the
good
man.
one.
That's for you.
And the Obi Toppin.
That's for you.
That was for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
because
for me.
I'm
Yep,
yeah,
there
and
we
look
go.
at him.
Then
Look at
there
him
we
go.
go.
Yeah, I gave my last 2 cents on Obi Toppin today. I'm not talking about Obi Toppin again until
Look,
we play the
man,
Pacers. So that's any Obi Toppin takes, that's for the president. So that's all you, bro.
I look, I've had my whole when Obi Toppin got traded. CP and I broke that trade down because it was the same day that we got Dante DiVincenzo. I've said my piece on Obi Toppin. He didn't get his chance, but I'm not going to go too much into that. We get it. Julius Randle. Feel like there were still opportunities for Tibbs to figure it out. Didn't happen. Whatever. We got to move on, man. I wish Obi the best, but I always will hate the Indiana Pacers. I will never root for the Indiana Pacers to go out and defeat and be good in this league as I'm a Knicks fan. So, but hey, man, hopefully Obi has a good career. That's all you hope for, man.
That's what I said. I hope that the kid averages 20 plus and the Pacers go 0-82. That's it.
82.
That's how I
Has
feel
that
about it.
Has that ever happened? Has
This
that
is
ever
the first.
happened?
This is gonna be the first year.
It's gonna be the first year. It's gonna
Mark
be the
my
first
words,
year
Alex. Yeah.
82. Okay.
Pacers losing every single game.
Pacers are going to lose every single game, and the Knicks are going to win every single game, and everything's going to be right in the world.
Everything's
We're
gonna
going
be
to
all
win
right
the
in the world.
championship.
Yep.
We'll go through, we'll go down the canyon of heroes, and everything will be great.
Yeah. Facts.
That's it.
Heroes.
Oh my goodness
Oh
gracious!
man,
It's never ending, man.
He's
Never
gone,
ending.
guys. And again, please don't do this to Jacob Toppin, bro. Like, I was impressed with what he showed tonight. I was a little worried that A, he wasn't going to play, or B, he was going to go out there because everybody was expecting to see him because of the fact that he's Obi's little brother, and he was just not going to be. He was just gonna be a non-factor. So I'm glad that he showed out. He made some great moves. I love it just felt like he was a clone of Obi, like a smaller
He is
version
his little
of
brother.
Obi.
Yes, he is a little.
Oh, he's a
version of
little
Obi.
brother. But yeah, he just
Oh, be well with your guys.
yeah. He seemed like he got a lot of the same things from him, but you can also see the difference in his game. So I'm hoping for him, rooting for him. Maybe he gets on the main roster. I don't think it's likely that he does, but I am rooting for the kid. He's definitely fun to watch, and he's actually a Knick, so I'm gonna enjoy whatever he gives to us for this preseason.
I hear you, man. I hear you. He's gonna be down in Westchester, dude. That's what it is. And look. I think for him, he just needs to develop. Same thing with like Daquan. Like these are guys who just need to get minutes.
Daquan is developed, Alex. Why'd you throw him in there? Main roster him immediately.
For people who don't know, you guys got to be out at Summer League seeing CK root for Daquan, shouting at Tibbs to give Daquan a starting role. That's what
those
you do,
18
man.
points are because of me, bro. He's like, I got you, CK. Yeah. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Daquan, bro.
Did he give you an autograph after the game?
Nah, but he dapped me up last Summer League because I was just as loud. Not this past season, the season before. I got my dap from Daquan. We homies, bro. We homies. I got text him after the post game. That's my guy.
There we go. We're gonna wrap in a bit. So if you want to get your calls in, make sure to get your calls in. We're gonna end the show shortly. I think the last thing I want to talk about, CK, is you kind of brought it up. It's this rotation, and it's I don't know where we're gonna go with. I know you talk about the guard situation. It comes back to the lineup situation for end of games. Like who do you go to? Who do you go towards? Because when you see quickly putting up numbers like this in 23 minutes, it's like, all right, so during the regular course of the game where you're starting to see Brunson get 30, Randall's going to get 30, Mitch is probably going to get actually something like this, 23 to maybe 30 minutes a night, like depending on who's playing better between him or Hartenstein. Grimes is going to be in that mix with RJ as well, and Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart. But then if you throw Jericho Sims into this whole mix, right? Because something is like giving me this feeling that with Tibbs giving praise to Jericho Sims, I feel like there could be that odd 10-man scenario where it's like, okay, yeah, this is where it's interesting, man, because I think like the praise, like he just doesn't give praise for the sake of giving praise. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we hear him be critical about RJ, saying, hey, he's got to be in the gym, work on his 3-point shooting for him to be better and to be more consistent, right? We've heard him criticize players and really dissect players. Outside of like, he doesn't do that for Brunson, he doesn't do that for Randall, but I just feel like him giving credit to Sims is giving me some sort of like feeling where it's like Sims may be a player in this where he's a 10-man. And it's like depending on the matchup, he could be playing some power forward minutes. That's how I'm reading the situation. Okay. So with that, then it becomes even muddier, right? Because the small ball 4 position was meant for Josh Hart. So if you do that, then you got to push Josh Hart up to like the 3, the 2, whatever it may be. Most likely the 3, just because you got Dante DiVincenzo, who they just signed. You got Quickly starting for that second unit. Do you see this happening? Do you see it getting even more muddier? Because you talk about the guard rotation. If Jericho Sims starts getting minutes, that's 10-man rotation. What do you think happens?
Yeah, because outside of the starting 5, the next 3 best players on our bench are guards: Dante, IQ, and Hart. We know Hart's going to play the 4, but yeah, and then who's going to be that 4th if we stick to the 9? So I like your thinking. I've always been a proponent for running a 10-man rotation, especially in the regular season, because it keeps your players fresh. But we know Tibbs, that's not his MO, and he put the hammer down last year saying, that's it. I'm done with it. Tried it y'all way. Didn't like it. We're doing 9-man rotation. And I mean, it worked, but it also didn't work because we started to not fall apart, but break down a little bit injury wise towards the end of the season. So I would love that. I like where your head's at. I think that's a good thought process. I just don't know how realistic it's going to be because I really expect Tibbs to stick to his guns on that 9-man rotation. But I could see him after like with what happened with Evan Fournier last year. After a few weeks and things don't go well, I can see guys getting taken out to then have a different type of lineup with Jericho Sims playing or whatever the case may be. Like maybe iHeart doesn't start the season well and then he gets Evan Fournier. I don't know. But it's hard for me to believe that Tibbs is going to shake his 9-man rotation and add that last player and go with a 10. I think he should. I like your thought process on it. I think it would be better for what we have because you just have to do it because of the way this roster is built. But realistically, I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to stick to a 9-man rotation. What it is, that we'll see on the 25th.
And shout out to Anthony Parasol in the chat. He said Sims and iHeart played a large sample size last year that impacted the initial run of winning, and that they did because what was it? I know Obi got hurt. I think it was because Obi got hurt. Yeah, it was Obi that got hurt in December. And like that just made sense because we didn't have Josh Hart at that point, right? So it's like, okay, it's easy to insert Jericho Sims because Tibbs initially went to a 9-man rotation. You lose one of the guys in the 9-man rotation. The next guy that you're going to place in there just because Tibbs thinks about rim protection is Jericho Sims. But for me, like I could see that, and I understand why you'd find that appealing. For me, I feel like I think him getting into the 4 position just muddies the guard position even more because if you do start to give Jericho Sims minutes at the 4 and consistent minutes at the 4, that means Josh Hart has to play the 3, and that means where do you get minutes for RJ Barrett, who's your starter, right? And then it's like, oh well, who's your closing lineup then? Because it's then. Tibbs always talks about players getting into rhythm to get that consistency, right? And knowing where they're coming in throughout any moment of the game so that way they can understand their role. So I feel like that would just throw a wrench into the entire thing, which is why his words saying Jericho Sims, like him giving praise for his improvement this offseason, it's kind of giving me pause going into this regular season because it's already muddied as it is. So as interesting as it would be, I'm a little concerned of how that could really throw a wrench into the entire rotation and potential lineups that Tibbs has in his arsenal already.
Yeah. It's a good point that you bring up too, because you're right. Tibbs doesn't really throw around that kind of praise. Last time I feel like that he really did that was IQ's rookie year. I feel like that was the last time we really heard him openly give praise to a player that then turned into, he worked on that word and played IQ. I don't know if you remember how that whole process went, where he went from wasn't sure if he was going to play to then him being a key player his rookie year. So you might be onto something. I don't hate it. I'm curious what he does with it, because I don't think he gets out of that 9-man rotation. But we'll see. We'll see. It is, like you said, it's muddy enough. So we'll see how he tries to clean it up.
We'll see, man. It's only preseason though, so you know what it is. It's only preseason, so that's all we can work off of. But shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone tuning in right now. We're going to wrap this show up, and we're going to catch you guys later. So thank you all for tuning in for KFTV post-game live, man, for the Knicks getting that dub over the Boston Celtics. They won 114-107, baby. That's what we're talking about. Just the way you want to start off a good the season, man. Preseason with a W, with a victory. So make sure to share these videos. You can catch them on YouTube. If you don't catch us live, you can catch us on here. You can catch them on the YouTube channel. Make sure to share the videos, like I said, to all your family members, friends, dogs, cats, whoever it may be, your goldfish. But if you can't catch us here on YouTube, you can't catch the show live, you can always catch us on any audio listening platform, Apple, Spotify, you name it. We are there. And on top of that, make sure to go support our sponsors, man. You can go use the promo code KFTV for Manscaped. Yeah, that's right. Obi Toppin, the Toppin caster, baby. The Toppin caster over there. And make sure to check out our sponsor by hitting the link in the video description at BetUS. Remember, they will give you a bonus match of 125% on your deposit. So make sure to hit that link in the description if you want to go play some wagers. And also make sure to go check out KFTV.com, KnicksFanTV.com, man. We got some awesome, great writers over there covering the team. Make sure to go support the website and the writers. And that's it, guys. We'll catch you later this week. We got the next post game will be against the Timberwolves. We got the Knicks playing the Timberwolves this Saturday. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Salute to Knicks Nation. And we'll catch you later this week. We out. Oh, salute to the mods, too, man. Salute to the mods.
Shout out to the mods, man.
Salute to the mods, man. Salute to the mods. I can't forget the mods and everybody. And the franchise channel members. Salute to all you guys. We'll catch you later this week. We out.